DRS enabled. Copy out. Goes, keep it up.
Hello and welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. It is the end of an SLR racing week, and my goodness, what a racing week we have had. Lots of excitement in Tier 3 and in Tier 2, and today, finishing off the week, as I say every week, is the creme de la creme of SLR. It is Tier 1, multiple Tier 1 champions, multiple Tier 1 race winners on track, and also Joel. So it's Coda, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tipsy Bob, and once again, as always, the man in control of everything we see is Mr. Ocean Chief. Hello, Chief.
Hello, viewers. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm gonna back Joel for the win for this one. I think. Just it's not gonna happen, but you never know. You never know. But looking at the standings quickly before we get to the session, it's Danny in P1, 84 points, Desi 1 point behind with 83 points, Justin 81 points, so a lot to play for, top three guys. Even McKender sitting there in P4, he's 71 points, so he's not too far off. And we've got Mercedes boys are rocking the top of the constructors, Ferrari trailing behind, and then McLaren in P3. But yeah, let's get over to the session. It looks like we're getting some drivers going out on track, so we will join the action. And Joel is one of those guys.
Yeah, Dan the man has had a really good run of it of late, Chief, wasn't he? Won the last, if I may be wrong here, won the last 3 races. Is that right?
I think he's won the last 2. I know he won Imola, which was round 2, I think, or 3. So yeah, he's won back-to-back races.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, he's won back-to-back, and then of course he had that issue in, was it Jeddah? The safety car issue.
Oh my god. Yeah, we've had some really nasty events. It's been a up and down season for a lot of drivers, but yeah, that safety car debacle was definitely one of the highlights for us. Maybe a low light for Danny.
Certainly a low light for Dan, but the thing about it is, if you can cast your mind back that far, Chief, that Dan the man was actually on a really good tyre strat on that safety car and looked pretty nice for definitely a podium, but I would have argued he probably was going to go on to win it. But so he could have well been much further ahead in the championship, but alas, that is bygones, as they say. He is indeed leading the championship, and let's see if he can make it 3 in a row, Chief. But also you mentioned there about Mac. Mac, as you said, he's not that far off the leaders, but I don't know whether it's maybe just not having as much luck or success this season, but he hasn't seemed to be as on it as he has in previous seasons. But then again, in fairness, the competition is also very strong, so we will see.
Yeah, he doesn't seem as hungry as previous seasons, but we may see him come on strong towards the end. And I mean, we're saying that, and he's P4 in the championship, like he's about 12 points up the lead, so that's McKender not trying. So if he did try, he has definitely got an oar in for winning the championship. Just looking at Fox right now, he's the first guy out on a lap, I believe, and he's making his way onto this long straight, the long straight with the DRS, and we're going to see a lot of moves here. This tends to be the favorite place to get a move on. If you have DRS behind the guy who doesn't have DRS, you're probably going to get an overtake down there. And then into Sector 3. And Bob, I know you were watching yesterday's race and Tier 3 as well. A lot of drivers struggling for grip in this Sector 3. These tight U-turn sections.
Yeah, it's just funny as you say that. I'm actually running on board with the Desi. He said it purple sector 1 and 2 times, so he's probably going to bang it on pole. But just as soon as you said that, he did get a little bit twitchy there into the corner entry of that, I don't know what you would call that. It's not necessarily a hairpin, it's the end of the long straight. But Fox does stick it, obviously provisional pole. It wasn't really, not a very clean second last corner there from a Desi, but I still think that Adesi's going to take P1 so far here. He's going to lead. Yep, there you go. By quite a significant, over a second.
I was going to
So
say
that's,
that Fox lap looked pretty decent until I saw a Desi's lap. That looked even more decent. 1 second. Wow.
Yeah. No, I know Fox can do the 33s. I remember seeing a screenshot of the times. A lot of guys can do the low 33s, maybe high 32s, but I'm pretty sure some of these guys will get into the 31s as well. I mean, Desi's almost touching it already, so
yeah,
we shall see.
Justin crossed the line, invalidated lap, but he did do a 32.4. That would have been good enough for P2 and just 1/10 of pole. So he's definitely got pace in the car there today. I see Danny as well is about, yeah, he's just started his hot lap. So we'll join him on board, and we're heading down to turn 1. Very, very much a late apex. So if you can hit it, that is, it is quite hard to hit. Danny does so. It heads into the S's section. And yeah, you have to take a lot of curb here. You have to be very confident with your line all the way through to this section here. Speed, momentum, it's all or nothing, and it's quite easy to invalidate there. He didn't look like he cut too much of the track there, so probably a bit of a conservative lap here from Danny as he heads down to yet another hairpin, and this one throws you onto the start finish, or sorry, the long DRS straight. And you could pretty much have a cup of tea on the way down to the next corner here. As DRS is open and it's flat out. And again, another what do you call this, hairpin? I was going to call it a U-turn. Pretty much same difference. And yeah, into sector 3. So I'll not go on board here. I want to see how Danny's car control is here for this twisty section. Seems to have it all in order as he comes up to the, I think this is a triple right-hander, is it a, and then into a blind left-hander. I always hated this one in cockpit view, but Danny managed to keep it in the margins there. Looked like he turned in a little bit too early for the last corner, but let's see what he does. It's a 32.4. Here's me criticizing a lap, which is 1/10 off pole.
Yeah, I was actually running on board with him as you were commentating, Chief. It was looking pretty nice. He was setting purple sectors, but I think he might have just lost that little fraction of it, that 10th, on those last 2 corners. I think he was just a little bit too gingerly approached those corners. I think Coda is very much like Suzuka in the sense that, well, maybe not as much, but in the sense that you can win or lose a lot of time in Sector 1 navigating those S's. I know just my own personal experience in Suzuka, the whole track, the whole lap, most people take the whole lap pretty much the same. It's just the S's is what makes the difference. And I would say that probably Coda would be something similar, although the Sector 3 time as well really rewards those drivers that have got good car control and maintain their high medium speed into the corners.
It's a bit of an unusual circuit, and it has so many different parts. You got the long fast straight, but you've also got those twisty sections in Sector 3, but then the S's, and then all these hairpins. So yeah, the drivers have their work cut out for them today. McKender on P3 with 32.4. And Janab now P4. Tanari as well up there, P5. He is P5 in the championship as well, so he did win the first race of the season, but has struggled since then. We'll see how he does today.
We got Speedy in chat posting, well, a camel. So I mean, I don't understand what that's all about. If you want to elaborate, Speedy. But whilst doing so, if you can let us know if the audio levels are all right, if you can hear our wonderful voices, keep us informed. But Chief, I know we like to, we always have someone we like to make fun of, and I know we do sometimes troll Joel, but Joel is actually about to start a lap soon enough. Wondering, would you be interested in running on board for wee Joel? Give him some screen time.
Yeah. What could possibly go wrong here?
I remember, was it last week or the week before, I said there's always a chance of a safety car win Joel.
Yeah, literally seconds later. I watched that back. Yeah, it was a pretty well-timed curse, that one.
Yeah. Well, here we go, Chief. Let's try and do a wee on board with Joel, Mr. Joel. So here we go, DRS activated, and he is flying up into turn 1. And I think the break point is just around about this great black box. He's not using as much of the track as some of these other guys will use, but of course Joel does nicely around that. Tidy so far, even though it's only one turn 1, but this is where it can all be won and lost. Oh, and yep, that's a massive loss there. Well, you mess up one corner and it just scuppers all the other subsequent corners. Although in saying that, I don't know if it's a bug, but it says he's got purple. It's like, oh no, Joel, don't be going over there. Well, that's his time invalidated.
Yeah, it was good until it wasn't. Joel will have time for another lap. He may even decide to save a bit of ERS and go for another lap on these tires, but yeah, for now he is not on a lap.
Do you know what I would love to do? I would love to do a commentating session with Babulous, but doing Babulous. Because, you know, I'm a big fan of Fabulous. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. And I won't do it here, but I mean, I will if it's requested. I like doing Babulous' voice. I would love to commentate with him, doing him, if that makes sense. Not in a funny kind of way, but, you know.
Tipsy Babs. I like it, yeah.
Tipsy Babs. Anyway. Dan the Man is on an out lap, and so is Mac. We're getting spoiled for choice here. And I think Mac might get... Is that guy getting out of the way of Mac here? Is that... Oh, okay, we're getting games playing here. Who's that? Is that Dan the Man in front? Yeah, that was Dan the Man. So Dan was in... Well, maybe they're not playing games, but it looked like Dan didn't want to give Mac the slipstream, and Mac definitely wanted it. We have Babulous in the chat. Hello, Babs.
It's like he's here, man. It's like he's here.
Babs, of course, did a wonderful job yesterday. Solo commentating, not an easy thing to do, but he done well.
Yep. Yeah, he really helped us out with that stream and did a good job covering that race. Just looking at these Mercedes boys, are they? Oh, Justin, didn't see that. He crossed the line, 32.4. He was able to get that time on the board eventually. 32.4, 1/10 off pole. But yeah, the Mercedes boys running pretty close together there. I wonder if they are thinking about doing a little bit of slipstreaming. As yeah,
I think it's possible. Sorry, I was just going to say, I think it's possible, but it's hard for me to see these sector times because it's a constant yellow flag. I think Cops is going very slowly here.
Yeah, actually, 2K was on a lap out of the Mercedes boy. He pulled over before turn 1, let the McKenna through. So 2K was up to P2. So it's getting quite tight up at the very top there. Very little splits, P1 to P5. Yeah, and McKenna on a lap, so we're going to ride on board with him. See if he's gaining any time. We're about to get a sector 2 time heading into the hairpin. Let's see what he can do here.
He does, of course, have a lot of cars up ahead as well, Chief. That might get trippy. He might get tripped up behind them in this sector 3, so that will be paramount that he navigates these guys as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and the low sun there, I'm sure that's putting some drivers off. I know that's been an issue before with Coda, the low-lying sunlight. McKenna coming up to sector 2 time here. He is 0.005 up on his time, so slightly up. It's not going to be enough to improve, but he could gain a lot of time in this sector 3. Looks tight enough from my point of view.
Yeah, I think the track map is a bit bugged because it keeps giving me a purple for him, but he's definitely not purple. He's definitely not going to get pole.
Oh,
invalidated.
No. Yeah, that's definitely not going to be pole. So it just shows you how easy it is done. I mean, I've done that many times in the race as well, and we're probably going to, see that in the race. Guys getting penalties. It's Danny Co is on a lap. He's navigating a Mercedes there nicely in the triple right-hander, and looking pretty good here as he heads into the final corner. And it's a short run to the start finish line. It's a 32.1. What a lap from Danny. That's 2/10 clear of a Desi. So quite the lap there from Danny Co, and he still has time for another lap.
Yeah, Dan the Man definitely. I know I keep saying it every stream, but I know he is very determined, and that's what we like to see. We like to see our drivers determined, giving it everything they've got, because that's where you get the real the real juice in these. Dan the man's still flooring it here, even on his outlap. He's really sending it, and it's probably keeping as much practice as he can get in. But that will be it's not impossible to beat, but it's going to take quite a lot to beat that. I will not be surprised if we do dip into 32 deads or maybe a really high 31. The Jet Chief, I think that time's going to be a bit tricky to beat.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Danny. He is gunning it to the pits, and I guess it's because of the time. It's 3 minutes on the clock, so by the time he gets into the pits, gets a fresh set of boots on, it is going to be cutting it pretty close here. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if he does get another run. But I don't know, that might be good enough for pole. But you could never know in Tier 1. Any of these drivers could pull it out of the hat in the dying moments of this qualifying session. And as we know, the track does evolve, so there will be pace out there. So whether the drivers can find that or not.
Yeah, it's going to be really tight for Dan because you want to be going out at the very latest 2 minutes dead. And like he's counting down. This is going to be... I don't know if he's going to make another lap. Yeah, I see Gamer in the chat. I agree. He also says he doesn't think he's going to make it. If Dan makes it, it will be like 1 or 2 seconds across the line. So we will see. Who's the furthest ahead, Chief, that we see? So Desi's further back. Tugay, Justin. Who would be the next out on a lap?
Well, Ryan, he's our reserve for this race. He is on a lap here. I mean, he's currently P14, so a lot of time to be found, but he's 2 seconds off the pace of P13. I'm just going to see his Sector 2 time as he heads down the long straight. Here we go. It's going to be a drum roll. 0.4. Not... Yeah, no, he needs a lot more than that. So we can switch to someone else. I think Fox and Jonty cross the line. Joel as well, starting their laps. Oh, Danny Cook's out. Yeah, Danny Cook's out.
Oh yeah, so he hasn't got enough time. So that's it. That's all Dan can do. So it's kind of like a waiting game now. It'll be tense for him sitting there. I think he's pretty safe. Definitely, I think he'll finish front row. But Mac the Chief is, I think, the closest or the highest guy up to to the front runners, who's about to start a lap. So I suppose it would make sense to run on board with Super Mac, our two-time Tier 1 champion and the reigning world champion. Can we say world? Yeah, I think we can say world champion. The reigning world champion of SLR, navigating into turn 1. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's a bit twitchy. So he's already behind, already at turn 1. We're getting yellows further back. There's probably guys going a bit slower. If you can just keep a wee eye on Chief, a couple of the other guys, Justin and Adesi and such. I will keep an eye on Chief. Sorry, not Chief. Mac. Mac is down almost 3/10. Not a hope in hell as he's going to recover 3/10 and then still take pole. Mac. He might recover a little bit, but no, I don't think. I think Mac's out of the running for pole.
Oh dear.
Who else? We got Justin. Justin's not improving much. He's down by 1/10.5. Not completely out of it, but yeah. So far this time by Dan is looking pretty tasty. Who else? We got a Desi. Never seen a Desi's. I don't know, Chief. I think a Desi might be the one who'd be closest to doing this. So I don't know. It's so hard to call this because there's so many guys. They're right behind each other, so it's hard to watch. Are you watching, Chief? Are you on with a Desi? Because that's who I'm on with.
Yeah, I'm watching a Desi here, yeah. So we're going to get a Sector 2 time in a couple of corners time, so we'll get a bit of an idea who's on a lap here. But yeah, as you say, oh, and a Desi going wide there. That's going to cost some big time. I don't think this is going to be good enough for pole. You will lose at least a few tenths from that mistake alone. I didn't see the Sector 2 time, but yeah, I think he's out of the running for pole. So that leaves Tugay. Is Tugay going to get pole here?
Yeah, Tugay is just this last 2 corners. Mac retires yet. Mac we knew he wouldn't improve, but this is up about Tugay. What can Tugay do? Crosses the line, DRS activated, and he boom!
Oh my word! From out of nowhere, yes. And there are some drivers out there that can still take it.
Desi!
Oh my word! How did he do that with that mistake? Oh, that is crazy. I was sure he was out of it, but 32 flat. Oh my god, with that mistake, that is crazy.
Man, that's what I said. I said that Desi's probably the only one who I think could probably maybe do this. My goodness, He squeezes it in, but look, Dan the Man top 3. Kind of what I said again. Sound like I know everything, but Dan the Man P3. Not a bad place to start either.
Yeah, and he does have a fresh set of softs. He did save those softs, so that is another advantage as well to that. To not going out for that last run, which that's it. That's our grid for the race.
Our gamer thinks the tier 1 is lacking qualifying pace.
Wow. Okay, that's a bold claim. I mean, feel free to join and show them how it's done.
I'll tell you who I want to see on track again. That guy, see that guy there in chat there? That Speedy. You know that guy, remember that?
I know.
EGL?
It's tantalizingly close. I saw him playing F1 before I jumped in the session. I was doing Saudi Arabia. I think it was career mode or something. So, yeah, I'm getting excited at the prospect of Speedy coming back. And
Man, do you remember EGL? Whenever the only guy that could challenge Mr. Anka was Speedy. Man, that was a good times.
Yeah, those were good times. The golden era. But yeah, let's have a look at the grid then. A Desi P1, it's all finish front row of the grid with 2K and P2. And I can't believe that lap from a Desi. That was a big mistake he made, and he still puts it on pole. But yeah, we've got Danny Coe in the second row of the grid with his nemesis, Justin. And his other nemesis is in P5, McKender, Tenari P6, Janab P7, Fox P8, John D P9, and Eagle Ghost representing us slow boys in P10.
So, what we always ask, safety cars. What do the people think? Coda does throw up the odd safety car. I don't know, Chief. I would be surprised if we even get one.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the track, it doesn't look like a safety car friendly track. All the walls are quite far away. But as we've seen earlier in the week, there was a few safety cars came out. Our gamer saying one safety car. So I'd probably go with that. Yeah, probably one. Probably one. As you say, Joel is racing today, so probably one safety car.
Joel's racing, Maple's not, so definitely one. If Maple was racing, maybe two. But we'll see.
Meepo, of course, almost won yesterday. There is an FIA verdict that he's going to be waiting on that hopefully overturn that into a win. But he was pretty much on for the win right up to the last corner. But he is unfortunately not joining us today. He's out watching the new Godzilla movie. I'm very jealous.
Would you go to see that?
Oh yeah, I love Godzilla. I'm a big Godzilla fan. Yeah. I love but like don't even get me started. Like the American Godzilla rubbish, but if you watch the Japanese stuff, awesome, brilliant.
What's the difference between the American and the Japanese one?
The American one is Americanized, so it's like
right, okay. Oh my God! Look at the size of that gorilla. Oh, it's not a gorilla. That God, what is it? A dinosaur! Oh my God!
Here's an interesting fact about Godzilla. Originally it was supposed to be half ape, half whale. I don't even know how that makes sense, but that is true. I don't know, but that was the original idea, the concept. Half ape, half whale.
So I mean, I did not know you were big into your Godzilla stuff.
I love Godzilla. Yeah. I think it's just because I watched it. You remember like late at night it would be on Channel 4, like the Japanese Godzilla stuff, and I would sit up and watch that, and I think it just stuck with me,
Right. Okay. You learn something new every day.
That's why I call one of my dogs Gojira, which is Japanese for Godzilla.
Which one do you call it? Is that Gorgie?
Goji, yeah. His full name is Gojira.
Yes. Chief has 3 dogs, ladies and gentlemen, and they're all awesome. 2 of them are like, as I said, like little floating clouds. They're like we floating clouds. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I keep expecting one of them to go missing when you visit.
Oh, I would steal them all day.
Have to do a head count when you leave.
Hey Chief, but back just to focus on on what we're supposed to be.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, go for it.
2K is on softs.
Bold strategy. Yeah.
Has he been watching Tier 3 last season? He's been watching Heat a bit too often. These Merc guys just like sticking softs on. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I think our gamer even tried that in one race recently. Put the softs on, was able to get the lead. I think it's kind of like when you go for softs at the start of a race, you're kind of hoping and banking on a early safety car.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Obviously, we'll have to expect to get the lead here, off the line even. That's probably what he's thinking. But I mean, realistically, Adesi, because he's a smart guy, like he knows how to race. He probably won't even fight this. He just, if 2K goes for move, let him have it, because you're going to get him later on in the race. So that definitely is mixing up things, Chief. So we will see. Also, notice Speedy says he might reserve in a tier 3 race. Chief.
Ooh.
But anyway, back to the action that is about to unfold here in Coda. I'm trying to get a good camera angle, and Codemasters is not giving me one. I'm going to run on board Justin to see how they get on. But the lights are lighting up the grid, and we are go in Coda as Adesi leads the pack away. But just as we all expected, Duque gets a fantastic launch off the line, up the inside on these softs, and will go for it. And as naturally as we expected, Adesi is not fighting it, but Desi's coming under threat here for this P2 from Justin. Justin also backs out of that one, playing the long game, and they all slot in behind each other nicely, these front four. We got moves from, Jenab and Tunaman. Tunaman is off. Tunaman is off. The curse continues with Tunaman. So with no safety car, he's back on track anyhow. Back up with the action here at the front. And these guys are all slotting into place nicely now. And it'll be a case of waiting for DRS now, Chief. That's all they're going to be doing now.
Yeah, and that Tenari incident was, I believe it was Janab and Tenari going side by side for the S's, which usually never works out. And that was the result. Tenari, unfortunately, is 5.5 off P13. So, and we're seeing a move as well. Eagle Ghost on copy. So Eagle goes up to P9. So good move from him. No DRS this lap or next. So he's getting it done early. He is on the mediums, so he's obviously trying to make these mediums work in this early phase of the race. Get some moves on these hard guys above.
Joel and the Lavisol, and who's that? A couple of people are off. Joel and Lavisol. No, it's Joel and Lavisol have had an incident. We missed that, but the races of Tier 1 have been quite consistent in the aspect of the first couple of, maybe the first lap you'll see a couple of moves, and then everyone slots into place, and that is the main fundamental difference between definitely Tier 1 and Tier 3 for sure. Even in Tier 2, is that the guys are so evenly matched that it comes basically a long strategy game, which is really what Formula 1 is all about. Playing the long game.
Yeah, and Tugay's making this strategy work for now. He's just about breaking that DRS range, so he needs to get that done by lap 3 when DRS is activated. 1.1 is the gap from P1 to P2 currently. But yeah, those soft tires are going to fall off pretty soon. I would say around about lap 4 onwards, they're going to start losing pace to the hard runners. So yeah, Tugay really needs to stretch his legs and get the most out of these tires in this phase.
Yeah, Eagle Ghost is one of the guys most likely, I think, to see a move being done here, if anywhere. He does have a hard. In fact, indeed he does. He's sending it, and that's not going to work. Make sure you be careful. Yeah, that was a very late send. He managed to avoid any incident, so that was a good job from him. And Jonty, I think, kind of read it, but yeah, just as soon as I said that, he's the one that I'm thinking is most likely going to go for a move here, because he does have a hard runner.
Copies in the wall, yeah. I just saw it in the foreground there. He just went straight into the wall, and that is a VSC, no safety car. The copy is out of the running.
An uncharacteristic mistake, was that, Chief, or was there someone involved with cops that caused that?
Yeah, I all I saw was like the car going straight across my screen. It was in the foreground, so I couldn't see what caused that. As Janab is pitting, he's on these 2-lap old mediums, so he's going on to hards. That's a bit of a weird call. No front wing change either, so that's a pure strat call from him. Interesting. I don't know about that one.
Our gamer thinks Justin is his vote for the win. I mean, I kind of said before the start of the stream, I think Justin's a dark horse today. I think he might go for it. Just catching up with the chat, and Speedy says Joel's first victim already.
It did seem that way because immediately after the incident, Joel pulled over and let Lavi Vasul through. So it seemed like maybe he caused that incident, but yeah.
We'll see. Now, that safety car, Chief. How do you think that works out for 2K?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of extends the sauce a little bit. I mean, we've got a very long VSC, but it's now this. Yeah, we've got a DRS enabled. VSC is gone now, so that was like almost a lap's worth of VSC. So give him time to take care of the tires a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to buy him much time, and Adesi's already within that 1 second range. So yeah, it's not looking good for 2K right now. He really needed to build up a few seconds lead already by this point, I reckon.
Yeah, Adesi is in hunting mode now. He's hunting that Merc down. And it won't be long now, of course, with the DRS activated that he will get the move. But again, I'm keeping a close eye here on Eagle. I definitely think Eagle's got a bit of pace so far in this Williams. Although Jonty is looking to line up Fox as well. So be keeping a wee eye on this, Chief. But I think the main move we'll see up first will probably be a Desi go for 2K. If not this lap, then maybe the next.
Yeah, and these guys are using a little bit of ERS. They're down to 50%. Justin's actually down to 35%. So I think the strategy of these front hard runners is basically try and keep up with 2K. And they're doing that so far. They're keeping them within that DRS range. And that'll do them well later on, as Danico is off the pace quite considerably, or he's at least dropped back considerably. 2.8. I wonder if he's had an issue there.
No, I think you kind of alluded to it. It's the battery difference, I believe. These guys are indeed trying to keep up with 2K on no soft, so they're deploying to keep that DRS. Dan the man, I think, is probably not getting involved.
Yeah, well picked up, Bob. Because McKender's he literally has 100% ERS. So yeah, these guys are playing the long game, which we'll see how that plays out later on in the race.
Yeah, Speedy just letting us know that apparently Copy's wheel disconnected, which would explain why he went straight into the wall. Because it's an uncharacteristic thing for Cops to do. Cops is a very experienced Formula 1 racer here in SLR, and you don't often see him make a mistake, so there had to be another mitigating reason why that happened, and that is indeed it. Technical failure. Adesi now is right up the gearbox here, almost, off 2K. And not here. You'll not see him do it here, I don't think. He'll not do it here. He'll wait for the main long one. If he can stick behind him, what's the 2K battery? Yeah, battery's pretty similar. So yeah, this is the one we're going to see the real move. Although Jonty is also looking at Fox. Eagle, as I was picking up, was looking pretty tasty for take up Jonty, but he had an issue the lap before. I think it was into turn 1. He ran him very, very deep and dropped out of the DRS. And you do not want to drop out of DRS in Coda, because you will get left behind. But Chief, this battle up front is starting to get now. It's really starting to come alive. Look how close Justin is behind Adesi. This is going to force Adesi's hand. He's going to have to pass 2K now, no question about it. And naturally, Justin will want to follow behind, but 3 does not go into 1. So can they get it done beforehand? They can. 2K wise enough, knowing that there's nothing he can do about it, and he gets out of that, Chief. So we now have a new race leader.
Yeah, nicely done from Adesi there. I mean, he was kind of open to attack from Justin as well. He had kind of had double slipstream for a moment there, and I thought he was going to go for the move. It would have been pretty audacious if he did, but he's decided to hang back for now. So, yeah, Adesi P1, Justin P2, and this is the lead pack. Then we've got Danny Co not too far behind. He has got a healthy amount of VRS in the tank, though, so we may see that gap decrease as this race progresses. And Lavi Vasul in the background there, he is the first penalty of the race, but I think there's going to be a lot more penalties coming in as Justin pulling out, just letting Adesi know he's there, and I'm sure Adesi already knows he's there.
Yeah, but it's just again the battery difference there. Justin's really deploying quite a lot. Adesi with a nice healthy half battery there, sitting there nicely. So I think Justin's definitely going to go for this one if he can. I honestly think Dan the Man is just playing this cool. That's what I believe. I think he knows that they are racing hard, and he's just going to let ease the tires in, and hope the race comes to him. But one man is really unfortunate. Is really, is Chinari, because like he's full battery. He's not even deploying, and he's so far away from the pack. So I got a wee bit of hiccups. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's not a nice feeling whenever you've had an incident and you're trying to catch the pack for points, for more points, and you just can't catch them because they've got DRS, they've got all sorts of, and you're just lonely. You're just driving your own your race, and it can play with your mind a little bit. But yeah, Tenari hanging in there for now, and not too far off his Red Bull teammate for the day. Also want to point out Fox on these mediums doing very well. He's hanging in with McKender, and we're entering the phase of the race where if there's a safety car now, it's going to really favour these medium runners. Even Tugay could take advantage of it if it happens in the next couple of laps. I think Tugay's going to have to pit fairly soon, maybe not the next couple of laps, but he's definitely going to be thinking about it. His tyres are not going to be feeling the best right now. As said, oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, Jonty! Oh my god!
Oh, that was so clumsy from those guys. What happened there, Bob?
So Fox pulled out of the slipstream to defend against Jonty, and Jonty tried to go up. I think it was the inside. They just brake late, but of course, he had Fox and Mac in front of him, and as Mac was taking the corner, as he naturally is allowed to, Jonty hit the rear left of him. Very, very, very clumsy.
Yeah, and Jonty has front wing damage, so he's dropping down the order here already. Eagle goes up to P7, but yeah, just clumsy, it looked like, from my point of view.
Yeah. It's whenever you get kind of tunnel vision and you just only focusing on that one move and you're not looking at the bigger picture. But Justin has taken the lead from Adesi, as we kind of seen that one coming. The DRS is quite powerful here. Adesi is not one to panic with a yellow. Who's that? Joel is off. And
oh, that's a safety car. This is what I was talking about. This is it. This is key for these medium and soft runners. They're going to love this. All these hard runners absolutely going to hate this, because it's going to, I mean, it's too early for mediums, but what choice have you got? You just have to, I think these hard guys are just going to have to roll with it and try to get a set of mediums to the end of the race.
I don't know, man. Tricky. I don't know what I would do.
Oh, and Justin stays out. Desi kind of bluffed it and then goes in last second. So Justin's staying out, and it looks like everybody behind is going to pit. I've been in this situation before myself, and it's not a good feeling. Justin probably going to be the only driver that does not pit, and that's going to be not good for him.
See, the thing is, because everyone was pretty much on the same strat, if everyone comes in, it's nullified really anyone's advantage. So it just comes down again to race pace, and tire management, and Jenab drive through. It nullifies everyone's race, which meaning that everyone will probably have to stop. So I think you're far better just coming in, getting a fresh bit of rubber on, and just seeing how the thing plays out. So
yeah,
Justin's definitely gonna. He's going to come under an awful lot of pressure. But as you say, Chief, this was just ideal for those medium runners to switch over to the hards, because they're sweet to the end.
Yeah, so Justin takes P1 and is leading the race, but I don't think that's going to last very long. He's on 7 lap old hards, and I'm wondering if he's even contemplating right now if he should just, take a hit and pit this lap. It's going to put him pretty much last, though, is the thing.
Yeah, I mean, if only a couple of people pitted, then fair enough. But the fact that practically, except Jenab, the whole grid pitted. I mean, all of his rivals, his direct rivals, have pitted, and he hasn't on 7 lap old hards. Man, it's going to be a tall order for him. Look, yes, he's naturally, if he sticks with the strategy, yes, he's going to be quick at the end. But he will most likely have so much time to pick to make up. That is, of course, if there's not another safety car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there could be another safety car, and it could play a key role in this race. I think if you're Justin, you just roll with it. You just stick with the strategy. You know that you're banking on these guys that have just pitted on their tires, either potentially exploding, or at least being very, very old by the end of the race, whereas he'll be on fresher tires. But he has a lot of fast guys behind him on faster tires. So it's all going to be about how much can he defend, how little damage can he take until his pit stop, and then from his pit stop he's got a lot of overtaking to do. So this is exciting for us, but for Justin, I'm sure he's not he's not feeling the best in that cockpit about his chances of winning this race right now.
Yeah, Speedy's asking, can the mediums go to the end? I mean, because you're going to be under the safety car for maybe another lap or so. Well, actually, it's probably going to come in at the end of this lap. You can get them to the end technically. It's going to take a hell of a lot of management, and they are going to be so burnt out that if you are on Justin's strategy, let's say, you will have significant pace over the rest of the grid. The question is, will you have enough laps? So I think the answer would be, can the mediums go to the end? Kinda is the best way of putting it. Would you reckon, Chief? Kinda is kind of
Yeah. I'm thinking about yesterday's race. Tier 2, Matt was leading. He stays out on hards on the first safety car, which was around about the same time as this one. He was on the, he obviously dropped a good few positions whenever the safety car went in, but was able to pit and then was absolutely rapid on those fresh tires over everybody else on these older tires. Unfortunately for him though, he had an incident, and that's the issue, is you have to make your way through a lot of traffic. If Justin's able to navigate the traffic, he may well, this might be the winning strategy, but time will tell. I'm not sure myself. Safety car in this lap, Bob, we're about to find out.
Well, what I will say is, to quote the great Nicky Lauda, they were asking him what was the secret to his success on track and in business. And he says what he does was he would look to see where everyone else is going, and then he would purposely go in the other direction. And that's exactly what Justin's doing.
Yeah. And, Justin, he's an old hand at this game. He's not quite as old as us, but he knows what he's doing most times. So we'll see if this is the winning strategy. We just don't know. But this is what I love about racing. We're about to find out.
I'm going to find out shortly. Chief, just quickly, Speedy says, I'll ask it in a different way. Is Danny pitting again? My first answer was kinda. My answer to Danny's question would be maybe. People are in the pits.
Janab went into the pits. He's got a drive-through, but I don't know if he's going to be able to serve that as... we're underway, actually, yeah.
Justin has launched, and it's a pretty good launch. Oh, who's that coming under threat? That's Tugay and Dan the Man fighting, and Dan the Man is getting past Tugay. Tugay, of course, on the hards.
Yeah, Desi, he went for the move on those fresher tires, made the grip count, and gets that move done pretty early. That's what he needs to do. He needs to just get it done and not spend too much time behind Justin, especially for this S's section. You can't really get a move on here, as Danico is about to find out. He's caught up to the back of Justin fairly handily, but he's now going to struggle to get past him in this twisty section. And I imagine Danico will get a move on Justin fairly soon here. Maybe into the hairpin. He's looking like he could go for it, but he's hanging back for now. He's deciding just to follow him through closely. And yeah, I think in Slipstream alone, he's going to get this move done.
Yeah, Justin is obviously deploying, trying to do his best, but there's nothing really you can do about that. Dan the Man with fresh rubber. One medium, it's not going to happen, man. It's going to have to try and nurse these hards as best he can. Obviously try to not lose too many positions, but man, that's easier said than done when you've got this field up behind you. Justin is now coming under attack from Tugay. Tugay might dive around the inside. Yep, there we go. Seen that one. I think I seen him doing that yesterday as well, so he's been lots of practice of that move yesterday. Mac will have seen that. Oh, Justin might even get passed by Super Mac here. Mac's getting well out of that one. He doesn't want to get caught up by the slower tire. Justin really is, you can see, feeling this pressure here, almost running a little bit wide. A terrible position to be in for Justin here with so many guys and so much faster tires. There's not really much you can do, and now Mac is going to take P5 away from Justin.
Oh, and there's a move behind as well. Looks like a Red Bull of Tenari going down the inside of who's that, Fox, and Tenari on these fresh mediums over Fox's hards. and Tenari getting that move done. So yeah, that's what you need to do. You need to get the moves done on these better tires, because they will start dropping off later on in the race, where these hards will be able to extend themselves. And Janab in the pits again. I think he wasn't able to serve that drive-through penalty the first time he went in. It was too early, so he's went in again.
I think he's going to go for a move here on Fox, and he is indeed going to try and get it done before the long straight, and they're touching wheels and left them just enough space. This is going to go right down to the corner, Chief. If we can stick on board with this one, they will be both deploying everything they've got, but they need to be mindful that there is a group in front of them. Make sure you hit your break point. And Fox nearly leaves it too late. And Eagle is now going to try and come on back on him. If Eagle can keep his car in the right position, he'll be able to go up the inside of Fox. But I think he's got it covered, yeah, and that's that battle over.
Yeah, that was an interesting move from Fox. You know, just at the hairpin, it looked like he maybe lost the back end and braking, and he had to make some big corrections. But yeah, he holds on to P7 for now, looking pretty decent there. But these guys are running very close together at the back, all fighting for points here. Lavi Vasul in the mix as well. But yeah, a Desi up front. 1.8 is the lead over Danico. DRS is enabled to slap, so Danico is not within DRS range of the leader, which is not very good. At this point of the race, he has used up a lot of ERS as well. He's down to 41%. A Desi 32%. So Danico responding to a Desi's strong charge here to break DRS, and 1.7. He's trying to build a gap up, it seems, up front.
Yeah, man, there's a bit of a train now, believe it or not. Coming up behind Justin. These guys are all very, very racy. Riyadh is actually doing a really good job here, and he's looking pretty racy. Eagle is obviously taking a defensive position. Didn't really need to defend that because he wasn't going to make a move into that corner. But yeah, I expect to see Fox now go for a move on Justin. He is deploying DRS activated, and that is a move, pretty straightforward move. Justin doesn't fight that wisely. He knows he has nothing to fight with. And now, naturally, Justin will be wanting to stay behind Fox as best he can to use that DRS to pull him along with a yellow further back. And it was Jenab who is struggling. It seems to be struggling quite a lot. But yeah, Chief, although there's not much happening at the very front, this battle from around 6th to 9th is keeping me certainly on my toes.
Yeah, very, very spicy in the midfield here. McKender did get a move on Tugay, so those guys are teammates. McKender now looking to work on that gap to P2. So we'll keep an eye on that. 2.3 is the gap from P3 to P2. Danico is keeping a Desi on us. He's just keeping an eye on that gap at 1.9. It looks like it's pretty stable for now. So we'll keep an eye on that gap as well. But yeah, these Mercedes guys maybe working together a little bit. Both on different tires, but able to keep within range of each other.
Eagle was very, very close to Justin there, and Eagle was taking a very brave risk there by deploying on the S's. That's a recipe for disaster. You don't want to be doing that. But you see, the thing is, as I said, Justin did indeed kept in behind Fox to be able to use that DRS. It's going to be very, very difficult here for Eagle to get a move done on Justin. You can see he's really trying to maximize his entry, but cutting the corner makes him run out wide and lose time. DRS is activated. Not be much they'll be able to do here as long as Justin stays behind Fox.
Yep, Tenari on DRS there was right on the back of Tugay. Tenari did pick up a penalty though, 3 seconds, so he's wanting to get a move on here. He's on the better tire for now, and he's taking a wide entry into that particular corner, trying to get a better run out. But yeah, Tugay's able to hold on to P4 for now, but I wonder how much longer that's going to last.
So Fox is slowly creeping away, as you would expect. The more older these tires of Justin gets, and he's slowly falling out of the DRS. I think Justin will have it this time. That's a bit of a strange read there. I think he's telling Eagle, that's a kind of a subconscious, not subconscious, telepathic signal, or whatever the way you want to put it, to off you go. And Eagle does indeed pass, so there you go.
Yeah.
Next up will be Riyadh, Chief. He'll be having a look at Justin.
Yeah, Justin doing alright here. I mean, he is falling down the order so in that way he's not doing it right, but he is going to go onto a fresh set of tires and they're going to be absolutely rapid. So this is all about damage limitation. The longer he can stay on DRS, the more that is going to help him later in the race. As Ryad, oh my word, was right on the back of Justin. Looked like he might have ran into him at one point there, but yeah, Ryad looking very pacey on these 6-lap mediums, and we may see another move on Justin here. But
Gennari is
DRS,
also very close on 2K Chief, and he's going for this P4. He's trying to split these Mercs, and I think he will be able to get that move done. He does indeed get that done, and this is a safety car, was just a breath of fresh air for Tunaman. See able to get back into this race and start vying for points for Red Bull.
yeah, Tenari, I saw his red light flashing at the back there, so that in terms of that, it's not so good, but if he can get on the back of Tenari or McKender ahead, he will have that DRS that he can use and maybe charge up the ERS a bit more.
And Justin will still have DRS now on Eagle. Riyadh is being very patient here on these mediums. Let's see if Justin gives him a little wiggle. I probably won't this time, because there's no reason why he should. He has DRS. But Riyadh almost practically full battery. And Riyadh's a recent addition to SLR. He reserves for pretty much every tier. Quiet guy, doesn't get involved in much, but he's a pretty good new racer. And it's good to have him, and more people like him. And he is really closing up here on the back of Justin. And the minute Justin drops out of that DRS, he will pinch or pounce on that P.
Oh!
Maybe not. Maybe he won't be doing any pouncing today.
He was doing well until he wasn't.
Yeah, it was all going well until it didn't.
Poor Ryad. Well, he was doing alright there. He got some screen time, so moving on.
Justin is now going to go back on Eagle, and Justin gets back up to P7. Not, oh flip, I forgot, they're actually teammates, of course. That explains the wiggle.
There you go. And yeah, so let's just recap. Justin has to pit. He's the only guy out there that has to pit. But I'm thinking of these front 4 guys on the mediums. They're getting to this window where they have to think, are they going to pit? Are they going to commit to this strategy? Because right now it looks good, but when Justin puts on fresh out of mediums and they start seeing those fast lap come in, they might start to sweat it a wee bit. And we saw that yesterday. Some guys did decide to go in for another fresh set of tires. Our gamer was one of them actually, and he finished reasonably well. So it's all to play for here as Eagle once again gets past his... yeah, Justin's actually in the pits. That's why he's getting past. So he's going on the mediums. He wants to, use them as much as possible here. He's been on hards for 15 laps. And he's going to do the rest of the race on mediums. So going to come out in fresh air. But we're going to see those times. We're going to keep an eye on him. He's P10 at the moment. 7 seconds behind P9. He's got a lot of work to do, but I think that time is just going to tumble down. Has he got enough in the tank though to catch the leaders? It seems a bit of a long stretch for now, but I don't know. He is 30 seconds. He's literally a pit stop behind the leaders.
Super Mac is potentially going to come under threat here from Tunaman. The only issue, and it's also a telltale sign, I often say definitely in tier 1 for sure, across the tiers, but it's very obvious I think in tier 1 is the battery deployment. Tunaman, very little battery, and Mac is 65-70%, so it kind of gives you an indication of raw pace. Tunaman is deploying to stay up, keep up with Super Mac. So yeah, he may get the move done on the DRS, but he needs to have a bit more battery to get it done.
Another interesting fact is Adesi has not won this season, but he's 1 point behind Danny. He's currently P2 in the drivers. If he wins today, he will get his first race win, and he will take the drivers' lead. So if it ends like this, Adesi will lead the championship, and he will have bagged his first win as Justin gets his first move done, and that's because Ryad went into the pits there, So he's deciding he's had enough of those old tires and wants a fresh set on. Justin, let's see how much he's off the lead now, if that's changed any. So he's made almost 2 seconds into the lead. I think it's too much though. I think it's probably too much at this point of the race.
Yeah. Tuna Man got within 3/10 behind Mac, but just on that hairpin onto the main straight, he lost it on the traction, and he lost all that time that he'd gained up. So yeah, he is really struggling to keep up with Super Mac, the reigning Tier 1 champion. But as you said, Adesi quite surprisingly has not won a race in Tier 1. That is quite a remarkable statistic. Given his pace and his poor quality time. But, excuse me, that may well indeed change today, because it's looking pretty handy here for Adesi with 10 laps to go. But as this Potato Boy out of the game, who's this? What's Kenny?
Potato Boy, what?
Potato Boy?
Is that your new nickname, is it?
I don't know, that's for me, because she calls me Spud. So I wonder if that's for me. That could be that. Okay, that's probably for me, but anyway. What will be interesting, and as our gamer does point out as well, he is interested to see if these medium runners are going to pit again. And the question is, if they do pit again, what will they stick on? Softs? Would that make sense? Oh, Kitty's replied, yes. Dude, knock into... So every Friday, whilst we're waiting for better action, every Friday, without fail, around this time whenever we're streaming, we are live to the world, there's a local farmer comes knocking on our door, wanting to sell us some potatoes. That is the most Irish thing that you'll ever get.
That sounds amazing, actually. I would definitely buy some potatoes right now.
Apparently they're really, really good. We haven't opened the door to him yet. Well, actually, that's not true. I've answered it. And there was a young girl, and she goes, how's she going? Would you like to buy a few potatoes? And I says, no thanks, there's a Tesco's right next door. Of course, other shopping centres are available.
Impartial as ever, Bob.
Of course, yep. Consummate professional.
What'd you call me? But I'm looking at the lead pack. There's no. Oh, Danico is in the pits. He's decided, you know what? I'm gonna try something different here. I'm not gonna win on this strat. I might just come in and put on a fresh set of
mediums.
I thought maybe he's gonna go for softs, but yeah, mediums probably the bold choice here. Definitely will get to the end, and interesting to see where he comes out in terms of Justin. I think he's definitely going to come out ahead of Justin. Yeah, he's going to be comfortably at... Oh, wait. Yeah, okay,
not comfortably, 3 seconds. Do you know what? Justin's doing a pretty good job here. I would be surprised to see Justin squeeze up into the top 5. What's that going on further back there? We got it's Jonty into the pits.
Yeah, the gap now is 23.6, so he's gained, since he's pitted, 7 seconds on the leaders, and there's 9 laps left.
Yeah, Kitty said to me once that she would be very interested in buying some of those potatoes off the farmer, but she never opens the door for the exact reason of what she put in the chat here is because she's in her PJs, pajamas.
You have to get dressed up next Friday when he calls around.
Yeah, get yourself a big, lovely red dress and lipstick and get your hair done. You get a yellow. They got a yellow, and it's just Janab spinning again.
Yeah, I'm getting flashbacks to the last race when Janab, it was every time there was a yellow, it was, it's Janab again, spun.
Desi's into the pits, Chief. He's responding.
Interesting.
Mac and Tuna into the pits, and 2K stays out naturally. Don't want a double stack. So 2K will be in the next lap. So let's see how this works out for Dan the Man and Justin. And this is Dan the Man's going to jump some of these guys. Well, Dan the Man was already in front. Oh, what's this going on here? Ooh. What's going on here? What's going on here? Dan the Man on Eagle. It's very paramount that he gets past Eagle. He needs to pass Eagle. Eagle needs to. This needs to work for Dan. It has to work. He has to hold it. This is going to be. Oh, this is no Eagle. Don't get. Oh my God, this is so tense. Oh no, Eagle. Oh no.
Oh, no!
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Eagle. 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 Oh, Ea Oh, Dan will be. I wish I was watching Dan's stream right now.
Yeah, I mean, Eagle had every right to defend that, but I mean, if you know your drivers, you're probably thinking like, what's the point? Danny's
Yeah,
probably going to
well,
get that
yeah.
move done eventually anyway. But yeah, that's cost Danny big time. He was looking like he would have been right on the back of Desi, so he went for that undercut, and he kind of triggered all the other guys and all the other medium runners to pit as well. So that worked out beautifully for Danny. Some good strategy calls. But look at Justin. Justin is within DRS range of Danny Coe, so he's tantalizing close to the lead of this race.
Yeah, so he's done a good job, and as Gamer points out, that 2K will be, continuing to the end of the race, and I believe Fox will naturally do the same thing. It makes sense. So 2K is actually in a really good position here, Chief. When you think about it, he's let's say 10 seconds ahead of Adesi, and Adesi's going to pass. He's going to zoom past Fox. And then so it'll be about 7 or so laps of Adesi trying to hunt down QJ, which of course, he probably will do a pretty good job of it, knowing the pace of Adesi. We've got to move Tuna Man getting past Eagle. Yeah, man, this is all getting starting to heat up.
Yeah, and it just shows you how costly that kind of fighting of Eagle Goose on Danico was. Eagle Goose now down like 4 positions, and that's all because of that hard fighting, and he came off the worst for sure and dropped a lot of positions. So I mean that's really what we're kind of alluding to. It's probably best you know your driver and you just kind of go, you know what, it's not my battle. But
Yeah.
Eagle Goose obviously wanted to fight someone there, and they chose to fight Danny Coe, and it didn't work out for him. Tenari onto the softs. That is a very bold strategy call there from him. He does have a penalty, so he's probably thinking, you know what, let's just go for it. As Danny Coe gets him, it's his oh my god, I can hardly speak. Himself past Fox. Put my teeth back in.
Yeah, just to go back on that thing, as you rightly said, Eagle had every right. He can fight that if he wants for position, no problem, no issue whatsoever. You're right to do it. It just doesn't make a lot of sense in terms of the race, because at the time you were on 11, 12 lap old hard. Dan the Man, significantly faster, or definitely a title contender for this season. He is an ex Tier 1 champion on fresh mediums. It's maybe best not to just get involved and risk your own risk, let alone his, fighting someone that you're definitely not on. You're not on the race with him, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Justin is lining up Fox now, so Fox dropping down the order in these older hards, and there's more guys behind. They're queuing up to make a move on Fox, McKender, Tenari, and I think that's it for now. But yeah, Fox with that penalty as well is going to hurt him. Was running pretty well there, but yeah, this strategy is not working out for him right now. He's on the oldest set of tires out there, 14 lap hards. 2K as well. We're keeping an eye on this gap. It was 6.6 last time I looked. 5.4 it is now. So you imagine Adesi is going to catch him by the end of the race here. But is he going to be able to hold off the charge of... Go ahead.
Sorry, Tuna Man nearly ran into the back of Fox. Fox was getting out of the battle pretty quickly. Fox will have the DRS, but Tuna Man will get that move done. But yeah, Adesi is... No, I was going to say something wrong thing. Adesi is catching Chuge at a significant rate. That, yeah, he will catch him, 22, 23, around 24, 25, lap 25. Would that be about right?
Yeah, I think so.
Look at how Gamer's in the chat. Yeah, he's 25, 26, 24, somewhere, around that. We'll see Adesi go take the lead, and this may well indeed be his first race win, but yet, of course, there is a lot to go yet.
Yeah, it's all looking good for him now. Importantly, McKender made a move on Justin, so it's all swings and roundabouts. Justin was feeling like he was the fastest guy out there a moment ago, but now it's all changed hands. He's got a very fast Tenari on these very fresh sauce behind. He just got overtaken by McKender, who's on slightly younger fresh mediums, but that even 4 laps difference, it counts for a lot in this game, and Justin's found that out the hard way. So Justin's got some work to do out there today. It's not over yet, and yeah, Danny Coe still 2.3 behind Adesi, running out of time here for that gap to close up. I think that, yeah, that battle with
Well,
Eagle Ghost really cost him big time.
Justin got a little bit twitchy there coming out of that. I can't remember the end of that the S's, and that's the last place you want to have a bit of a squiggle, because Tuna Man on fresh softs is just gonna zoom past Justin. Justin with almost no battery and Tuna Man even less. It's like watching Tier 3 again, and Justin's gonna potentially come back here. No, it's not. Excuse me. So Tuna Man up to P3, and he's hunting down Mac to get that P4 off Super Mac.
Yeah, the drive Tenari got out of that hairpin there onto that start finish rate was crazy. You could see him closing up big time just on the exit alone, and that was enough to get the move done. But yeah, that straight's so long that Justin almost was able to feed back in and get Slipstream and take that position back. But yeah, I think these soft tires right now are obviously the ones to be on, but in a few laps time may not be the case. I think Justin just has to keep in there, doesn't he? And try not to lose too much hope.
Yeah, he needs to do what he can. Of course, Tuna Man does have that time penalty. Don't think Justin's going to be able to do much more than P6, to be honest. He probably will jump P5, let's say, in terms of penalties. Some guy called Zach Miles has joined. Okay. Where am I here? Desi is, yeah, he's going to pass. This will be the lap where he takes the lead, indeed, lap 24. And he's just going to just disappear into this race win. So Dan the Man will most likely get P2 as well. Yeah, it's just looking down the order. Yeah, I think Tuga's probably going to drop down quite a bit here. So here we go. Desi DRS activated, not deploying. He doesn't need to. Tuga knows that he's not much point fighting that. 16 lap old hard, very little he can do. This is a maximizing points position for Mercedes moment for Tuga. He knows that he has his teammate not far behind, and these are very valuable points for the constructors. But we have another Janab off again.
Yeah, and yeah, every time I see a yellow, I'm getting very nervous. As yeah, Janab's lying at the side of the road there, but we still could get a safety car here. I mean, it's really the last few laps of the race where that safety car threat is no longer a threat. But at Desi, I'm sure he's looking at that as well, just hoping, praying there's not another safety car. He doesn't need another safety car to screw his chances of winning the race. But I mean, so far he looks unstoppable. Looks like this race is in the bag, but yeah, we've still got a few laps to go. Anything can happen, but really I think right now, Tuge, it's a battle for the podium, isn't it? Is he going to be able to hold off McKender for that P3 spot? Because I think Danny Coe's going to get this move done pretty soon.
Jenab in the pits for a fresh wing, the last. Surprising Jenab, because he does have an awful lot of pace in him. I mean, anytime I've seen him when I've raced him, he is a rapid guy, like. So it's strange to see him struggle so much.
Yeah, I think once you have that initial incident and you're so far off the pace, you just kind of check out a wee bit sometimes. It can be difficult, but he's hanging in there. He's not give up just yet, but yeah, not looking good for him today. And his teammate Jonty in P11, so they're out of the points. Jonty might get a point though. Eagle Goose has 3-second time penalty there as Danny Coe closing up on the back of Tuge, and you can just see the tire superiority play out here in real time. Danny Coe is able just to take a wider line and get a better exit, and he's probably going to get held up here a little bit actually with Tuge ahead into this triple right-hander, and then this blind left. Danny's having to lift quite significantly going into the penultimate corner and again into the final corner, so I imagine he'll get the move done on this start finish straight.
Yeah, I'm also keeping a wee eye here on P9 as well as Lavi for. Oh yeah, Dan does indeed pass Tuge as we expected. So now Dan has a couple of laps to try and hunt down a Desi. Don't see it happening, if I'm all honest. But yeah, naturally I would expect Mac to pass Tuge. But yeah, Lavi Fasol is pretty close to Riyadh, or Rijad, I don't know how to pronounce that. And I think it's only a matter of time before Lavi gets that P8 off Riyadh.
Yeah, and Eagle's hanging in there as well. He's on the fresher tires, he's on softs. and they've all got penalties, so that kind of negates each other. So this is a battle for P8, a freeway battle for P8 that we've got. Bring here is, I'm looking up the field, Tenari on the back of McKender, 0.5, but 6 lap softs. I think this is the point where they, you know, any advantage the softs has is going to slowly ebb away here as Tenari as well carrying that penalty. That's going to cost him at least one position as it stands.
So Lavi and Riyadh coming down onto this main straight. How does Lavi get? He gets a reasonably decent exit, a bit of wheel spinning. He's a little bit closer than he was last time. I think he might actually go for it this time. He will have so much overspeed. Yeah, you might as well go for it. No, he could have given that a go. Riyadh cuts in quite early, I see. Maybe that's what's holding Lavi back. He knows that Riyadh cuts in early. So, yeah, he's probably... Well, actually, tell you what he's doing. Slipstream, I should know this. He's waiting until this last lap. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, it might be a good idea, but Eagle Ghost is here to spoil the party. Look how much he's closed up. He's now 2 tenths behind these guys. And yeah, I think he's going to think about, I could get myself P8 here, as he's looking down the inside for the final corner. And
he's going to go for it up here, Chief. This might actually cost Lavi by that hesitation.
Yep.
Nothing doing. Oh my goodness! Word. My goodness.
Aye. So, yeah, so just say he got caught out by the overspeed. Oh my god, Lavi Vasil has 14 seconds of penalties. Oh my god.
14 Oh, did you get, yeah, as we expected, passes, and of course, Tunaman passes as well. 14 seconds. I bet you he's getting it in that second last corner. Probably at the end of the S's and the second last corner. 2 most difficult corners in this track.
Yeah, and it looks like Danny Coe has given up any hope of the win, so he's just bringing it home at this point. But you can see behind him, there's a big battle forming for this P3 spot. You got McKender, you got his teammate in the mix, Tugay, but also Tenari does have that time penalty as we're seeing a move for P8 again. It's Lavi Vasil on Riyadh this time. So Lavi Vasil able to get himself up to P8, but yeah, those time penalties are going to drop him right out of the order and right out of the points.
I think Super Mac will hold on to this P3 on track. I just think he's just even though you know he will have the DRS Tunaman, I think Mac will be able to hold on. Just watching this battle with Riyadh and Lavi. This is a good wee battle. Of course, Eagle is right behind. Eagle tried to go up the inside of Riyadh there. That's a brave move. Doesn't often work that one. Let's see if he gets his break point this time. Break. Oh, still a little bit late, but he's all right. Not too bad. And where is Tunaman? So Tunaman now is onto this main straight, deploying everything he's got. He actually is going to get Super Mac. Super Mac doesn't have much battery. Of course, Tunaman does have the penalty, so Super Mac will probably not worry too much if Tunaman passes him. So that is that. Then we get a yellow. And it is Eagle. Yeah, it's Eagle. Eagle. I don't know what happened there. Probably pushing a little bit too hard to get that, make those softs work. So that's that done. But Riyadh and Lavi. Oh, Lavi getting sideways. In fact, Riyadh has dropped quite a bit back from Lavi. So I wonder, was that an incident between Eagle that caused that? Looking down the rest of the grid, I don't see anything except Desi crossing the line to take his maiden win in SLR, believe it or not. And what a great job. Tunaman finished P3 on track, but drops down to P5 in the penalty. Great recovery from him. Super Mac staying in this title fight in P3. Great points haul, Chief, for Mercedes.
Yeah, P3, P4 for the Mercedes boys. That'll do well for the constructors. They are leading that. So that will further bolster their P1 in the constructors. But yeah, Justin, what a tough day for him. P6 and by the smallest of margins as well. That will be a further kick in the teeth, as they say. But P6, not too bad. I mean, considering he had some tough choices to make out there. But Fox, P7, not bad. good haul of points for him today.
Gamer saying, knock maiden win in SLR. Did I say SLR or did I say this season? Because I know he has won before.
I feel like our gamer, you know, he's so good at commentary in chat that he should do commentary for real.
Yes.
He sounds like he would be like perfect, you know, he wouldn't make any mistakes whatsoever.
Yes. You're welcome, our gamer. Do you want to join us on stream and give us a wee commentating session? Do you know who I would like as well? I'd like Speedy to do it, but Speedy would just end up swearing too much.
Yeah, he might get a bit angry. But Adesi wins for the first time this season, and I'm sure that that will do him it'll do his confidence a world of good, because I mean, you know, we can see he has the pace, but just not being able to get that win, I'm sure it was super frustrating. There's been a couple of times this season where he looked like a dead cert for the win, and then for whatever reason, late safety car or whatever it was, it kind of screwed him over on the win. And Danico, I'm sure Danico as well is happy enough with that P2 spot today. It'll serve him well in the drivers championship. Justin going to lose out a little bit in the drivers. McKenna, that P3 will keep him in the mix, and we'll see if we can get an interview or two. Tier 1 guys tend to be a bit shy on it, but we'll see if we can encourage or entice some of them in. 2 DNFs today.
We haven't been able to get that elusive McKenna on stream yet. He's known he's like a snow leopard.
That's right, yeah.
That's exactly what he's like, because you know it's rarely seen in the wild. You kind of have to stalk them out to try and catch them. We're gonna have to try and stalk some of these Finnish channels, Chief, to try and whenever we see Mac talking, just grab him quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. I'm just switching over to the interviews. Hoping that we get a chance to speak to Desi. Desi has been known to grace the interview booth, and he's just made a comment in chat there saying quality merchant. That's a reference to an earlier stream we did where I called him a quality merchant, which I think is a bit insulting given that his race pace is pretty phenomenal as well. But yeah, let's see if I can entice him in for an interview. No interview for me, for Danny, just pure cough after the race. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we may not get an interview, but you know, we had a great race today. After last week, I mean, last week was a pretty decent race as well. You remember Submitted, K Lawrence, P2, and that was with a very not the best strategy, I guess, when you look back on it, but he made it work. I think it was Old Softs.
And he had to put up really staunch defense against the charging guys of Mac, and I can't remember who else the person was, but yeah, I know people were giving off about his connection, but look, it is what it is.
I've asked Fox for an interview. I don't think he's ever given an interview.
Yeah, we've never spoke to Fox.
He said no.
Instant no.
Yeah, it looks like the interviews aren't happening. As he says, he's lost internet connection. I don't know how he was able to post that comment if he's lost internet. But anyway, yeah.
You know what it's like? It's like I'm saying, sorry, I don't speak English.
Yeah. No,
like,
speaking no English. Yeah.
Would you like an interview? Sorry, I would if I could, but I mean, I really just don't speak English, I'm afraid. So it just wouldn't be any use. That's exactly what he's doing here.
Our gamer, do you want an interview? You can give us
gamer, come on.
The spectator point of view on
what
that
about
race.
Can we get Babylus? Get Babs on and give a wee interview to him. See what he thought. He was managing the Twitch stream, I believe. He's keeping an eye on the Twitch. The hell with it? Why don't we just get Kitty on if she's listening?
Yeah.
Just give us anyone. Dice if he's about.
Yeah.
Just someone speak to us.
Oh, we've got our gamer, look, and Tanari.
Oh. All right. Happy days.
Let's go. We'll bring in Tanari first. If I can make my. Yeah, there we go. Tanari, welcome. Thanks for coming into the commentary booth for an interview. Got a lot of shy guys that don't want to speak this for some reason, but yeah, that was an interesting race for you. Obviously, you had a penalty recurring throughout most of the race, but looked like you had a lot of pace out there today, and yeah, you went for a slightly different strategy than most people. Just give us a kind of overview from your point of view.
I mean, yeah, pace was quite good, obviously, and well, I mean, got lucky obviously with safety car because I was out of the race in like turn 3 already, but yeah, after the safety car, the original plan was to take the mediums to the end because you could. It is like totally possible, but we weren't quite sure if that would be the faster one, so I decided to pit. Was it like lap 20 or something? And I had a fresh soft still, so that was quite good then. And yeah, I mean P5 is okay.
Yeah, I mean, it looked tough out there today, but I mean, track limits. I saw that yesterday as well in your race. I think you picked up 6 seconds, if I'm right.
I think 3 only.
Oh, three.
But
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
You were.
3.
Yeah, you had 5 warnings, I think, because I was watching your stream actually, and I noticed. Yeah, it's so easy to pick up. Those track warnings, and then it gets under your skin because you're like, I need to stay away from those track limits, and then it affects your pace and blah blah blah. You know the rest. But yeah, I mean, it looked like you had a pretty strong race out there today.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, the third warning I got because, I mean, it was kind of bullshit for me because, like, I was going on for a move on Justin and he kind of turned in to the apex and I kind of like was forced to cut so I don't collide with him, but I'm not sure if it was that clear, so could have just been my fault, but after that I still picked up a fourth warning, so it wouldn't have mattered that much anyway, but yeah, overall it was quite a good race.
All right. Was that after the pits, or just as you came out of the pits, or when did that happen?
I got it after I
No, no, no.
pitted.
The incident with Justin, I mean.
That was yeah, when was it the first safety car he stayed out, so he was obviously out slower.
Oh
So
yes, yes, yes,
it
yes.
was during that phase when we were all overtaking him.
Yeah, but I mean, it looked like a good race for you. I mean, you obviously you picked a different strategy than most guys at the end there. You went on the softs, which obviously were pretty rapid at the start of their stint, but at the end there, it looked like they were starting to struggle a little bit. You think that was the right choice then to go on the softs?
Yes, I mean obviously they fell off obviously, but I mean they were pretty good the whole stint, and as I said, I had fresh ones, and the most guys I think didn't have because they just do 3 soft laps, and so they don't have any fresh ones. But I had because I saved one set, so yeah, I thought it was the right one, and I think it still was because I was able to catch back up to Makender when I lost the DRS in the pits.
Yeah, we saw that fight at the end there with McKender. Obviously, that time penalty dropped you down a few positions, but still a very strong finish from you. I was going to ask you something, and it's completely won from. Yeah, that's what we mentioned on the stream. You won the first race of the season, and then since then, seems you've struggled a little bit, but you're still kind of in the mix. I think you're P5 going into this race in the drivers. How are you feeling about the rest of the season? You think you might? Are you thinking? You might do it, or are you just completely checked out of the driver championship and just trying to race each race as it comes?
I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to race each race as it comes. I won't win because it's gone to the point where I can have a solid race, and if we consider like the top 5 as rivals, I will only gain on like one rival. So it's like gotten pretty tricky to gain any points on them, which is not surprising. So yeah, I don't believe I will win it obviously, but I wouldn't mind, or like I'm not too bothered with that.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask you a slightly different question here. It's not so much about yourself; it's about the elusive McKenna. We can never get him in for an interview, so I'm gonna see if I can do a by proxy interview and ask you to be the voice of McKenna. No, I just want to see because McKenna hasn't won a race this season. What is his mindset at the minute? Is he just treating this like you know, like Tino, like he's not really try hard in this season. Because we know he can win races, and it just seems like he hasn't been on it like he usually has. He hasn't won a race this season, and I'm just wondering what's going on with McKenna at the minute.
I haven't asked him that specifically, and I won't now because it might take him a while to answer. But I mean, I don't think he's like trolling or anything. He just hasn't had maybe a great race yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying that he hasn't won a race, but he's still like P4 in the championship, even though he's not been performing like we've known him to in previous seasons. But yeah, I just thought I would, you know, try and get a new angle on that. But yeah, Tanari, you did well today. And yeah, good showing and good points for Red Bull today as well. Obviously, your teammate wasn't. Oh wait, no, your teammate wasn't on track today. Yeah, yeah. So you were flying solo for Red Bull, but good job on that, man, and good race from you.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate the time in the commentary booth as well. Bob, have you any questions for tonight before I throw him out?
Maybe Rocket League later. No, I'm only joking. No, I have no questions. I'm actually just enjoying the chat. I think we might get Eagle Ghost in next because yeah, there's a wee bit of a debate about this fight near the end, which I think realistically did indeed cost Matt Dan not necessarily the race win, but he dropped out of the DRS because of that from a Desi and just let Desi drift away. So be interesting to hear from the horse's mouth himself.
Yeah,
so,
we'll get straight to that.
So it's a long way of saying no of no questions for Tuna.
Yeah. All right, good night, guys.
Great recovery, Tuna, though. Great recovery.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. But good night, guys.
Yeah, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Bye now. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's get to the drama. Let's dig the dirt. What's going on, Eagle Ghost? Obviously, we've seen a few comments going back and forth in the chat there. I mean, what's your take on that incident with Danico? Obviously, you know, you're in a race. You're allowed to race other people, but what was your take on that when you saw Danico coming out of the pits there? And
well, yeah, my plan was just to fight him as hard as possible to keep him behind me, so Justin could get closer, so Justin could get in the DRS of Danny, because Justin already had a few laps on those new mediums, so it was really necessary for him to get back into the fight. So I tried what I had to do to fight Danico, and I think I was still ahead in the SS, but he wanted to stick it next to me, and I'm the one with the unlock and spinning around. Yeah,
obviously Danny is not appreciative of that, but I mean, I guess when you give it that kind of background of Justin's your teammate and you're trying to play the team game as well, it adds an extra factor to that. So so you're just standing by your kind of your position there to try to defend from Danny.
Yeah, if Justin wasn't behind me, then I would have never fighted it against Danny. That's clear. I would have never done this if Justin wasn't behind.
Yeah, well, you know how it is. Emotions run high after a race, so I wouldn't take anything personally. And you are allowed to fight anyone you want on track. I guess, like, you know, when we were watching it live, I didn't really consider the team aspect of it, but yeah, I was just thinking, like, you know, it didn't really make sense to fight Danny, given that he was on fresher tires. But yeah, like I say, fully within your rights to defend it. And side by side in the S's generally is not a good thing. Usually someone comes off the worst. Unfortunately, it was you today, and that seemed like it did impact quite you know, quite hugely on your race, because I think you dropped about 4 positions from that incident alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wanted to fight it fairly. No, I didn't want to take him out at all or something. Just wanted to hold him a little bit up so Justin could come back closer. That's anything. That was just my purpose. But yeah, I hoped to still get in front of him until the DRS zone, so Justin would have got him back, and then I would have let him go, like Perez defended Hamilton in 2021 in Abu Dhabi. I'm not having that quality, but I just thought, yeah, why not give it a go? I'm allowed to defend them, but if it looked awful, then I'm sorry.
See, it didn't look awful, Eagle. It's like we were saying when we were calling the action at the time. Like everyone's entitled to fight for every position. You know, everyone can do it. It just, as we and Chief were saying at the time, it ultimately wasn't the best decision to fight Dan because, as I mentioned on my Discord chat message to you, you did have 12 lap old hards under the S's. You were always going to struggle for grip. Danny is naturally faster anyway. You know, he is a tier 1 champion. He has been that pace over the season. You were always going to lose that position, you know, all day. And you were saying, I think you said there that he decided to go make it side by side. He didn't really have much choice from what I've seen because he had so much more overspeed than you because he did have those fresh softs. He also had to keep in with a Desi that was so paramount that he stuck in behind a Desi to get that DRS. And effectively by you trying to fight that, which you were always going to come off the worst, it then compromised not only your race, but it also compromised Dan's race. And I think that's why you're not getting flack as such, but you're seeing people here don't agree with fighting Danny, and especially when it's not like for the title decider just yet, like it's not the end of the season. I suppose people would maybe understand it a bit more if it was for the end of the race. It's like the deciding race. But we're coming up to Christmas break. It's not a title decider yet, and I think generally the consensus of people would say it doesn't make sense for you or for Dan to defend someone that is on a better strat, on better tires, and is significantly faster. Effectively, he's not in the same race as you. So I think that's the main reason you're seeing people. I mean, you can even see, I think, Justin, as he says, he appreciates what you were trying to do, but it wasn't necessary. So, your teammate acknowledges that what you were trying to do, but doesn't necessarily agree that it was the same decision as well. But I think also it's to point out that your intentions were well, like you meant well. You were trying to play the team game. And as we always say, everyone's entitled to defend, fight for every position. So yeah, I know there's not really a question. It's just kind of trying to put forward what other people's view is, that it didn't make sense to fight Dan in that moment.
Yeah, I understand. Maybe I was he was a bit too far alongside me. If he would have been a bit more behind me, then it would have made a little more sense, probably. Yeah. But yeah, if I could have only just hold him behind me in the S's, that would have been already enough, maybe. But yeah. But I saw Danny saying something like a 5-second penalty. Was that because of me or another incident, or did he get an illegal overtake because the incident?
I don't think Dan did get a penalty. I don't know.
No,
I don't think he did. I think I'm not sure where he says that now, but he could probably maybe. Where is it? Squeezing. I'm not sure. I don't see where he mentions that. But if he did, it was maybe I mentioned that he maybe run the risk of that because of the bump. There was a wheel bump between you two, which sent him off track, and he was maybe alluding to that he could have got a time penalty for that. I don't know. It's like Chief says, emotions run high after races, and that's why I've always said that after a race, if there's an incident, just everyone should walk away for like 5 minutes, maybe get a little drink of water or a cup of tea or whatever, and then come back when you've cooled down, because emotions do run high. But
yeah,
it is what it is. Your intentions were well-meaning. You were trying to help your teammate. I think generally a lot of people would just say that it wasn't the best time to do it, if that made sense, because you were always going to lose out anyway.
Yeah, true. I always was gonna lose out.
I think also just again to bring up, it's the fact that it's just the fact as well that you had 12 lap hards against I think 2 lap mediums. So just that tire deficit or wear deficit.
No, it was. Sorry, he just went out of the pits, I think.
So so that
no, it was someone else. It was someone else. No.
Yeah, we were watching.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Dan had two lap old mediums, And so just the tire difference already, medium to hard, and it's old hards on fresh mediums, as you know yourself, like the speed difference already is significant. But then when you compare that, it's Danny. The man is like insane pace. It just amplifies the pace difference. And so I think that's why generally people are saying, it didn't make sense fighting him. But again, it's. I hope I'm trying to explain it. I'm not giving a view. I'm just trying to pass on what you're saying.
No problem.
It's totally understandable for you to fight that, and totally understandable if you want to defend your teammate. But in the context of the whole race, it didn't make sense in the long run, because ultimately people will see it as it lost Dan out the possibility of fighting for the win.
Did he lose so much time?
Yeah, he dropped out of DRS from a Desi, and then there's not a hope of him passing then, because you see he was then, because he dropped back from a Desi was able to pass Tugay and then get away from Tugay, and then by the time Dan had caught up and got the DRS, so there was already like a 3-second gap.
Okay.
So yeah, whereas whenever Dan was fighting you, a Desi was just in front of him. So that's why I think there's this emotion, because Dan was fighting a Desi. He was within like 0.3 of a Desi, and that one incident between you and Dan dropped Dan out of DRS, and then that was it, game over. And because these guys, they're so close in terms of raw pace, trying to catch up another guy is so hard now. And if a Desi has 3 seconds on him and they're both on the same tires, it just makes it so harder for Danny, because then he has to be significantly faster to just catch up. Whereas if he has the DRS, then it makes it easier. So ultimately, I think that's what it all comes down to.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm getting the context of the race. Yeah, I didn't realize I was. I
don't think there's like a lot of There's no there's no fault. There's no one at fault. There's no issue. You can't say like I don't think there's anything reportable. There's no fault as such. It's just in the context of a race. To use both lost out in a battle that didn't need to happen, basically.
There's no fault. There's only salt.
Yeah.
I'm reading chat here. Our gamer says, I think Eagle was completely in the wrong, and I blame Eagle Ghost for Danny Co not winning the championship. So I wanted to speak to you about one other. He didn't actually say that. One other thing I wanted to bring up. Sorry, you went in for fresh sauce, and yeah, you went in for fresh sauce at the end, and we caught one moment where you were catching Ryad and who was the other driver? It was a Lottie Vasolia. You were on the start-finish straight. You had a lot of overspeed. Obviously, that you had the fresher tires. I think you got caught off in the braking zone, just with the guys ahead braking a bit earlier on the older tires, and you almost lost out there big time. But yeah, it looked like a pretty good race from you just overall. I mean, apart from the Danny incident, how was it overall? Did you have a good time out there?
Yes. Sorry to jump in. Yes, if you could tell us also about the Riyadh incident as well near the end of your race.
Yeah, apart from the incident with Danny, because now I'm feeling really bad for it. Don't. But apart from that incident, it was a really good race for me. I really had fun. Really was struggling to following Fox, and then I think Justin had some wing damage, because otherwise he wouldn't have dropped back so hard. So we tried to play the team game there too, so to help each other in the DRS, and he made the sign also to overtake and try to follow Fox, but unfortunately I did lose the DRS. But then the safety car, it was after the safety car. So yeah, I had to go Fox, and then Justin pitted. Then the incident happened, and then I saw Riyadh getting slowly closer and closer, but it would have been close at the end, because I had a 3-second time penalty at that moment and he didn't. So I really wanted to get on the soft as fast as possible, so I could fight for the points at the end. And when I came closer to them, then I saw Riyadh also had taken a 3-second time penalty, so that was awesome for me. And Lavi was all at 14, so no problem. and then fighting until the last lap. Levi Fossol overtaking, so Richard would have gotten the DRS also, so it would have been hard because I didn't have a lot of ERS. So in the corner after the SS to the right, there I had a lot of overspeed and a lot more grip than Riyadh. So I placed the car next to him, a good amount of meters before the turning in point, but he didn't see me there and turned into me, and that gave me the spin. At that moment I was pretty angry because that would have been probably P7 for me, and now I'm P10 because Chonti, I think, also overtook. So yeah, I think blame is. I went for a dangerous move maybe there, but it was necessary, and I was fully alongside, so I didn't expect him to turn in on me. Because normally I'm always the guy that always sits back until the DRS straight and never overtaking corners. But sometimes, yeah, I need to try and race more. And now I had the faster tires. I really had a lot more grip, so I tried them going for it. But always when I'm trying it, it's not working for me. So that's pretty sad. Yeah.
Yeah, well, not to put any pressure on you, but you're carrying the hopes and dreams of all us ex Tier 4 and free drivers. As that's where you were molded into this Tier 1 driver. Yeah, so we're always kind of rooting for you secretly. And good to hear you had some fun out there today. And I wouldn't, honestly, the whole Danny thing, I just reflect on it. I wouldn't take it too personally. Obviously, emotions run high after races, and yeah, things are said, but you know, it is what it is. We move on, we learn, and we move on. So, talking about moving on, we've got, what is it next? It's Singapore next. Big favorite for me and Bob. What do you think about that, Eagle?
I always loved street circuits, except Monaco. But yeah, Baku, Singapore, I really love them. So I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't raced on the new layout yet. I think it's in the game, right? The new layout with longer straight.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is different. Yeah.
Is it in the game?
I actually don't know. I haven't driven on it, but I think you're right. It is a new layout. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we'll find out.
Even more excited. Yeah, we'll see. I quickly wanted to, but I'm gonna send him. But also, if he's listening, Danny, then I really want to apologize to him.
Okay, we'll make that into a short just for Danny. But yeah, we will thank you for your time today, and we'll speak to you again on the following races. Until then, take it easy, bro.
Thank you, man. You too.
Take it easy, Eagle. Good luck. Good job, man.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bob, one last thing. I think we forgot it last week, didn't we? But it's driver of the day. Any contenders out there?
Man, Justin, or not, what do you call him? Tuna Man. Tuna Man was yeeted lap 1.
Yes.
And came back to what, P5? Safety car, of course, helped. Tricky. Don't know. I'm tempted for Tuna.
Yeah, I think honorable mention to Tugay, who held out there and gets was a P4 in the end, behind McKender. So yeah, good job to him. But yeah, I would go with Tenari. Yeah, often when you get in an incident early in the race, it can really demoralize you and affect your mindset. But he was able to come back and not let that affect him too much, and bag that P5 in the end. But Bob, it's been a pleasure once again doing comms with you. Interviews ran a wee bit longer than usual, but hey, that's all right. Bit of extra content is not a bad thing. But yeah, Singapore next week, Tier 3, Tier 2 and 1, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, normal time. And I am looking forward to that one. Always love Singapore, and our gamer has confirmed it is a new layout. So yeah, there's like a whole part of the track is now just a strip essentially. So that'll be interesting to see how the guys navigate that change in the circuit. But I think that's it for for me and from Bob here, we'd like to say thanks for watching, and we appreciate your support as always. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will speak to you again in a week's time. All the best. Good night.